Today, we're predicting the final 53-man roster for the 2024 Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, we're sitting in May. It's all we got right now. Let's get started. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another video. Definitely do me a huge favor, smack the like button on this video and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content. On this channel, we cover everything Arizona Cardinals news, breaking news, conversational pieces, everything surrounding your favorite team. So subscribe it up. It's absolutely for free. All right, everybody, let's go and get started here. We are in the thick of things of just the off season between everything that's happened, right? Free agency as well as the draft, and we still got a couple months away from the start of preseason, and then probably about 3 months away from the regular season to start off here for the Arizona Cardinals. So you might see a kind of decline of content coming your way, but if something big happens, I almost promise you, you are going to be getting a video about everything Arizona Cardinals. So I appreciate you guys for being here, and today we're going to go ahead and predict the final 53-man roster for the Arizona Cardinals. And if you guys have any disagreements, anything that you think that I'm completely messing up, go ahead and leave it here in the comments below, and we can go ahead and have a great conversation amongst ourselves. So let's go and dive right into it. Let's talk about the quarterback room. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I hyped up Clayton Tune so much in the 2023 season, and it's probably maybe one of my worst takes. Now, although I do believe that Clayton Tune is not 100% at fault as to why he didn't look the best versus the Cleveland Browns, but I think it's one of those recency bias things that I don't know if Clayton Tune is going to have a job heading into 2024. Now, can the Cardinals have 3 quarterbacks heading into 2024? Yes, maybe, but I truly think that what the Cardinals are going to do is maybe roster 2 quarterbacks, and if Clayton Tune actually shines, then maybe he can go in the practice squad. But I truly believe that the Cardinals will not make a move, or should not have made a move for Desmond Ridder if they don't expect him to be QB2. Now, I do fully expect a quarterback 2 competition in training camp, and as well as the OTAs, but I truly believe that as of right now, the Arizona Cardinals are truly favoring Desmond Ridder just for the experience and what he brings in to this quarterback room. So I have 2 quarterbacks for the Arizona Cardinals, obviously Kyler Murray being QB1, and I got Desmond Ridder being QB2. Now, if they do bring in Clayton Tune, I would love it. I love Clayton Tune, I absolutely do, but as of right now, for the sake of this final 53-man roster prediction, I'm just going to go ahead and roster up 2 quarterbacks for the Cardinals. Now, let's move on over to the running back position. Right now, I got 4 running backs for the Cardinals. We got James Conner, obviously being RB1, Michael Carter being RB2, and then Trey Benson being RB3, and then DJ Dallas. So what is the thought process of why I'm coming up with 4 different running backs? DJ Dallas is rumored to be a punt returner / kick returner, basically being a lot more of a special teams type of player for the Arizona Cardinals. So that's why I'm bringing them in the, 4 running backs in this roster. Now, you're going to notice here that we don't have a specific column for just specifically to special teams. Obviously, we have a column for your punter, your kicker, and your long snapper, but everybody that is special teams, I don't have a specific column for him, but that's the reason why I have DJ Dallas here under the running backs. Now, James Conner, obviously RB1. Michael Carter is RB2 to me just because of how different type of a player he is to James Conner, but calling it like it is, I truly believe that Trey Benson is going to be the future running back for the Arizona Cardinals heading into 2025. Unless the Arizona Cardinals decide to bring back James Conner, this is his last year under contract, so it's going to be very interesting to see how that shakes out. And Trey Benson is going to have to take advantage of the opportunities that is given. And being that we've seen a trend with James Conner's career not being able to stay healthy, we might see Trey Benson in a game or 2, maybe 3 or 4, just kind of really depending on what happens this season, to kind of really tote the rock. Because I still believe that if James Conner goes down, Trey Benson will be slotted up into that number 1 running back role, and then Michael Carter can be your 3rd down running back, your screen plays, your swing passes, that type of running back for Michael Carter, and can get some runs every once in a while. But I would love to see Trey Benson get a full workload if that does happen. But as of right now, in 2024, I do see it as James Conner, Michael Carter, and Trey Benson until something else happens otherwise. Let's move on over to the wide receiving group. Right now, I do have the Arizona Cardinals carrying carrying, I believe, 7 wide receivers I have here. So we got Marvin Harrison Jr., obviously being drafted 4th overall. He's automatically the favorite, the number 1 wide receiver for the Arizona Cardinals heading into 2024. So there's no shock there. Now you will notice that some of these players have R's right next to their name. That means that they're rookies, and I do expect them to make a huge impact heading into 2024. Next to him is Michael Wilson and then Greg Dortch, right? I don't think there's a surprise there, but Zay Jones, being that he has played slot in college and he's made that adjustment coming into the NFL, going to the outside, if we can use Zay Jones to the ability of, I guess, the best of his ability, I would love the Cardinals to potentially use him both slot and the outside whenever you need Michael Wilson to, take a breath, right? Or a breather, right? Or even Greg Dortch needs to take a breather, right? I would love to see Zay Jones get an opportunity there. I do see the Cardinals also bringing in Tajon Palmer as well. Chris Moore, that was a free agent acquisition for the Cardinals. And then this is just for me. I want Xavier Weaver to make this roster. I don't think he's going to make an impact on wide receiver in year 1. He might be a special teams type of player. And I would just really love for the Cardinals to give him an opportunity and carrying him on to the 53. I love what I've seen from Xavier Weaver last year, and he was hurt. He was hurt last year, and he still had a very, very productive 2023 season for Colorado. So I want the Cardinals to really bring him on, and let's see what he can kind of do for us. For tight ends, Trey McBride, no surprise there. Tip Ryman, I did put him above Elijah Higgins just because of the different type of play style and what we're going to be using him for. It's going to be very, very valuable to be using a Tip Ryman in the tight end group and putting him as a tight end 2, and then Elijah Higgins right after him. So 3 tight ends heading into 2024. Let's talk about offensive line. Paris Johnson Jr., I love the idea that we're moving him over to the left. Called it a long time ago, and I finally love that we are giving him the opportunity to play that left side. I do think Isaiah Adams is going to get a big opportunity this year, and probably slotted over to that left guard position. And then Fro Holt being our center, Will Hernandez, and then Jonah Williams being that right tackle. Now we are getting 3 players in terms of depth pieces. We are bringing in Evan Brown, Christian Jones, rookie, right, a potential right tackle of the future, and then Elijah Wilkinson. Now I think with this group, there might be some people out there saying, well, what about John Gaines, right? Former 4th round pick last year. We might have a lot of disagreements with, who we're bringing in, how many linemen, how many not linemen. Let me know here in the comments and how you feel, but I feel like this is going to be a group that I'm very, very confident with heading into 2024. As long as they can stay healthy, I think it's a very, very good group. Let's move on over to the defensive side of the ball. Let's move on over to the outside linebacker, shall we? So Zaven Collins and BJ Ojulari, I think is going to be the primary edge rushers for the Arizona Cardinals. I think there's no surprise there that everybody's expecting Zaven Collins to make a big jump, or at least we're all hoping so. We heard a lot of good things from Nick Rallis about Zaven Collins and how he's kind of, taking the next step, but we just got to really see what happens on the field more than anything. But I would love nothing more than Zaven Collins to really work out for the Cardinals. So I think they're going to be the main 2 guys, and then you got Dennis Gardeck, and then Dante Stills, and then Xavier Thomas, which is a rookie. He might not get a lot of playing time. I'm going to call I don't think he's going to get a lot of playing time, but there's that. And then Cam Thomas. I like Cam Thomas when we drafted him, but he just has not given us a lot of production. Is that due to opportunity? Maybe, right? But I think this might be one of the last years that Cam Thomas might be rostered with the Cardinals if he doesn't make a big impact in special teams. If he doesn't get an opportunity here, in the edge position, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But I do see an opportunity for the Cardinals to definitely roster him. I think it would make sense to bring him on. So there's that. Let's talk about inside linebackers. Kazir White, Mac Wilson Sr., and then Owen Papu, and then Kryze Barnes. I like the inside linebackers. I hope they do very, very well. I hope Kazir White can stay healthy throughout the entirety of the 2024 season. He was I guess he was so physical. He was so physical is the best way to describe it, that he set a tone for our defense on the front 7. And I really, really do like Kazir White. Obviously, with Budda Baker in the back and Kazir White, it just kind of makes an overall very physical team. So I hope Kazir White can stay healthy. I want to see Mac Wilson next to him. And I know Nick Rallis was actually asked about, can we see a switch where Kazir White can be Will, and then Mac Wilson can be the Mike. The way Nick Rallis describes it is that both of them, both those positions in this defense is very interchangeable. So he can see a world where both are very, very comfortable with the defense, and he can kind of see them both calling the plays, regardless of one's Will and the other one's Mike, right? So I think right now it's going to be Kazir White at the Mike, and then Mac Wilson Sr. At the Will. But I also bring in Owen Papu as well as Kryes Barnes as well. Let's move on over to the defensive linemen, and this is going to be nose tackle and the people right next to him, right? Everybody in the inside. Darius Robinson, I want him to work on the inside. Now, if he works on the outside and if he explodes, great. That's fantastic, right? But I feel like there's so much opportunity for Darius Robinson to excel in the inside, right? I know he brings in a lot of versatility, so I would see him on the inside, but if they move him to the outside or they move him on both, that's cool with me too. I don't care. But Darius Robinson, I can definitely very well see him make a big, big impact for this defensive line. Justin Jones, Bilal Nichols, both guys are brought in here to stop the run, right? Being those beef guys in the middle. So there's those guys as well as it Kyrgios Tonga, right? Roy Lopez, guys that are depth players, guys that are, that kind of help beef up that line. Those are going to be the D linemen that I want to bring in. And then cornerbacks. This is going to be very, very interesting. I am bringing in 6 cornerbacks to the final 53-man roster. Sean Murphy-Bunting, obviously, cornerback 1 for the Arizona Cardinals. I don't think anybody's debating that. I think Max Melton is going to be the cornerback 2, opposite side of Sean Murphy-Bunting. And then Garrett Williams hopefully takes the next step in that slot position and gets multiple interceptions because we all need it, man. I want to see Garrett Williams be great. So those are going to be our 3 top cornerbacks, but then you got some other cornerbacks like Elijah Jones, a rookie we brought in this last year, Keitrell Clark taking the next step, hopefully, right? And then we got Starling Thomas V. So those are the cornerbacks I want to bring in. Yes, you do have some players on there as well, or currently on the depth chart, because we have more than 53, that you might ask yourself, why not this guy, right? Like, I believe it's Jaden Davis, the guy from Miami that we just drafted. I don't know. I just see maybe a practice squad type of guy, but we got so much cornerback help. I know we don't have a lot of surefire guys, but with who we're bringing in this 53 prediction, I feel like we are pretty good, at least in my opinion. Let's move on over to the safeties. Buda Baker, Jalen Thompson, Joey Blunt, definitely be used in special teams as well. And then Dadrian Taylor Demerson, a rookie and a potential safety for the future for the Cardinals, because I know the Cardinals really, really like him. So I can definitely very well see the Cardinals rostering 4 safeties. And then for the special team guys, Matt Prater being the kicker, obviously, Blake Gilligan being the punter, and then Joe Shimko, which is a undrafted rookie the Arizona Cardinals ended up bringing in. I know Aaron Brewer is the primary long snapper for the Arizona Cardinals, but I think it might be time for a shift, and the Cardinals probably wouldn't be bringing in a Joe Shimko if they didn't think that maybe we might move off of Aaron Brewer. But as of right now, if it is Aaron Brewer, I got no qualms about that, right? I got no issues with it. But as of right now, just on my final 53, I'm going to be moving in a younger guy in Joe Shimko. So, ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts here on this final 53-man roster? Do you think I had anything wrong? Do you think the Cardinals will take 3 quarterbacks in the 2024 season? Let me know here in the chat below. I appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your day, and go Cards!